So I'm here with Bo Bragason, star of The Radleys, a movie that I really enjoyed. And
Okay.
first off, I I need to know just the what do they put on you when you get bloody? Because that must be very sticky. You're not in an air conditioned room with no insects. You're out on the field. What was
Yeah.
that? What is that like?
It was, it's gonna sound so strange, but it was great. It was so good. I don't know, there's something about it being covered in, I mean, yeah, that sounds a bit strange, but I mean, just walking around set, for example, or being on base camp, people didn't know that I was covered in blood. So I'd kind of walk up, stand behind someone, they'd turn around, they'd be like, whoa, oh my God, you're covered. But yeah, it was a really, really hot day. I remember when we were filming the forest scene where my character does get covered in blood. And it was just like, extremely sticky. I was wearing this fur thing that was getting stuck to me. I mean, the makeup team was fabulous. The taste of the blood, very tangy but sweet at the same time. It was a bit of a confusing one.
You
But yeah,
accidentally tasted it, right? You didn't gulp it down. So,
you never know. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was such a surreal experience, and also just to be able to do that and call it work. It's great. I mean, what more could you want?
yeah, I'm the Radleys. I thought just looking at the poster, I thought it would be great, escapist, fair. It would be fun, comedic. I got something a lot deeper from it. Did you know going in this is why you were attracted to the project? Because it may seem like a fun thing from the surface, from cinephiles like me, but there's a lot more to the movie than meets the eye, which makes it special, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think like one of the overall messages of the film is about sacrificing like your true self to fit into the society and how to like overcome that and that pressure of doing that. I think that, although this is a vampire film, that is not the only part, that's not the only thing about it. It's family drama, self-identity, self-discovery, like becoming comfortable in your sexual desires. Yeah, I there's just so much to it. And I also think that with everyone watching, no matter how old you are, this is a coming of age film, not just for the younger characters, but for the older ones, um, marital relationships, parent and children relationships. I think there's just something that anyone could take away from this. And I feel like it's a film that would be hard not to enjoy, I'd like to say. But obviously, some people might have a different opinion. But I just think it's a really fun new take on the vampire genre.
And without giving too much away, how did you play Clara or Clara? I like pronouncing it either way. How did you just portray her arc and get ready for that kind of emotional arc that she goes through? Because her coming of age is not something over a summer, it's a total transformation. How were you able to play that as an actor? Yeah.
Absolutely. I think as yeah, approaching the role, I kind of just stepped back into my 17-year-old self, into that mindset of being insecure, being, kind of just suppressing myself to fit into society. But obviously with Clara, it is such a quick transformation, which, normally in anyone's growing up years, it wouldn't exactly happen that fast. But I think it's just more so like with the age I'm at now, even though I am still young, I have come to realize that suppressing yourself and trying to fit in just because society tells you to, just so that way you're not weird or cringe, whatever. It's not worth it because there's so much more to life than that. And just approaching the role was trying to figure out the balance and then also not overdoing it after the transformation.
On that transformation, what's it been like for you as an actor the last several years? Well, I mean, actually, more than that, back in 2021, me and my podcast co-host, we just really praised this movie called Censor. We love that movie. But yeah, I love that film. Such a great film. Underrated, by the way, also, as you know. But just the last couple of years, with Renegade Nell, and now I really want to see the Jetty when it comes here stateside. What is that last couple of years and growing as an actor with these assumedly quality projects, including The Radley's been for you personally?
Oh, it's been great. It has really been great. I mean, I've been acting since I was 11, but I'd only really consider myself to have been properly acting for the past maybe 2, 3 years, or four even, 2024. But yeah, I think with every role that I'm doing, I feel as though I'm learning more and also getting better and better. The quality of parts, I think they have been like over the past few years, they've really, really been up there. So in a sense, pressure to perform how I think it should be performed, but also the people that I've been surrounded by on these sets, it's like I haven't had any formal acting training, but being on set, it kind of feels like I have because I'm learning from the greats. I'm sitting back, like just observing, watching what they're doing, and soaking that all in. But every role that I've done, I can like truly say that I'm grateful for because they have kind of all been so different from one another. Like when you do get the chance to see the jetty, you'll see very different side to myself, I guess, in comparison to Clara. But yeah, I just really enjoy putting myself into these roles, into these like time frames, and like seeing where I can go with it.
I've interviewed Kelly and Damian over the years, and they're nice people personally, but they're also just selfishly they're just very talented. So, and then now you're playing a family unit. Obviously, you're under the gun. You have to make on a day-to-day basis, it's stress. But what's it like having people who are leaders like that in front of you? And do you learn something from that experience? These actors.
Yeah, definitely. And like, specifically with Damien and Kelly, it was just such a good opportunity to ask questions and to really soak in their answers. They really created an atmosphere that felt safe, felt very comfortable. If I had any questions, I could ask them. I'd get a very, very good response back. And also just, to get the chance to work with these people who I have been watching since I was young. It was just fantastic, and they are just so good. It's kind of an honor to be able to play their daughter. So it was pressure, but it was also just like I couldn't be more grateful.
Well, final couple questions. First off, when did you start having that dream of becoming an actor? And now where you are at this moment, is it surreal to know that I guess your present and your future looks promising? Did you ever see yourself at this place from where you were from your initial dream?
I mean, it's kind of acting has kind of always been in my life. Just putting on shows, all of that when you're younger, but then I guess kind of stepping into it and trying to actively pursue it as a career, knowing that this is kind of literally the only thing I want to do in life has pushed me through the hard times, it's like hundreds of rejections, but then to be able to kind of like take a step back and see what I have done. And when I think about myself, usually I don't really go like, yeah, well done, Bo, you're great. But if I like picture one of my best friends doing what I have done, I'd be like, my God, that is so cool. So I am really proud of, how far I've come. And I just really hope to keep going with it, to be honest. It's my passion.
Is that one of the elements of the unlock as far as being a successful actor? You mentioned hundreds of rejections. I'm sure over the years, you're a veteran. You've seen people who are just as talented maybe decide they don't want to do it because it's hard to handle the rejection. Is it almost a force of will or just sheer will that gets you through the next day as an actor? Maybe, I'm assuming.
It's a mix really, because I remember when I was younger, every rejection would hit me like, like a knife to the heart. But then kind of just getting used to it, getting used to the no's or getting used to the silence, which is just a big part of acting in general, but also just kind of being okay with not getting a part because sometimes it might be because of your acting, but most of the time it's just the smallest detail, like your hair's not the right color, your nose is too big, you're too tall, you're too small, anything like that. But I also think, there has to be some level of delusion to be in this industry. I mean, that's a big statement, but like it's tough. It is so tough, but I think it is so worth it. There's just nothing, I think, all the no's going through that, the yes is what makes it worth it. Like the very rare you got the part is like, yeah, that's what you do it for. So it's great.
It's amazing. Final question is just right off the top of your head. Can you name one of your all-time favorite movies, and what is it about this film that really speaks to you on a personal level?
Oh, God, one of them. I'd probably say. I mean, I really, really, really love Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I've watched that so many times. Have you seen it?
Oh, well, yeah. I'm so old. I did the junket with Kondri years back. So great film. So
That's
yeah.
so cool. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I love that film. I wouldn't necessarily say it has any like type of personal connection or anything I really relate to within it. I just love the story. I love the actors. But then Mamma Mia 2, Mamma Mia, the first one, I have to throw that out there as like a nostalgia. Used to love it growing up. Still love it now. It's one of my go-tos. Probably my favorite musical. But I've got so many favorite films. So many.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Really love the Radleys, and
so
I
much.
definitely have to rewatch Censor. I remember that movie blowing me away. What was your initial reaction when you first saw the final cut of Censor? Were you blown away as just a lot of people were? And
Yeah, my God, I was like, whoa, crazy. Because, my part in that was small, so I didn't actually get to read the full script. So I went into it blind, apart from knowing my scenes. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's great because I also ended up working with another actor that was in that, in Censor on my most recent job. So we got to talk about that. But yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. I'd love to do more horror. It's
thanks
just fun.
again. Thanks again so much. And really love the Radleys and looking very much looking forward to the Jetty.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you so much.
You too. Take care.